everyone. Charline Savoie here from East Coast Holistic Events, and we're very happy to be bringing to you our first Irishtown Holistic Fair on Sunday, September 29th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Irishtown Community Center, which is located about 15 minutes from the city of Moncton. And we're very pleased to have a variety of wonderful vendors ranging from alternative medicine, energy healers, holistic products for your home, for you, your home, and your pets, delicious foods, and artisans of various genres, and intuitive readers. And I also have the pleasure today of having one of these artists that will be at the Holistic Fair on September 29th. And Bev Cormier, thank you for being with us. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, Charline. It's a pleasure.
Yes, it is. And so the name, I'm curious, Mother of Metal, how did this take form? Where does this inspiration come to you with that?
Mother of Metal, I have to blame on my oldest daughter. My background, I guess, I was born on a farm, a frugal lady. We repurposed everything. So recycling and repurposing became a part of my life, right to the core. My mother, my lovely mother, we had to wash out milk bags so we could use them to refreeze the apples in. So we did everything from pickling and freezing and canning and raising pigs and cows and all that stuff. So the repurposing aspect of it has just been there my whole life. I guess the actual catalyst that started Mother of Metal, I don't know, 15 years ago was I had to remove some old 220 wiring out of my house, and there was like 75 feet of it. And not wanting that to go to the landfill, I stared at it and stared at it and stared at it and thought, okay, I'm going to strip it. So I got my jackknife and stripped all that wire. But we had always been, beachcombers and collectors. So I had all these little collections of beach glass and stuff. So I started wrapping up some of those special things for myself, my kids, just out of fun. But then my hobby became my lifeline because I'd been involved in management in large corporations for a lot of my adult life and just didn't resonate with me anymore. So I thought, here we go. I need to do something that feeds my soul as well as my body. And I've been doing that since 2012. Yeah, 2012.
So over 12 years for now. Yeah.
Yes, it's been a while.
Well, we tend to sometimes find our way to our gifts and our path and what lights us up later in life. And after we've raised our family and devoted time to them, we find our passion. So that's wonderful that you were able to put all that together and that it inspires you, and it's an outlet for your creativity. So yes. How do you decide what to incorporate in your pieces? Is it something that you found, or is it something that's near and dear to you? What exactly, or is it just an inspiration as you look at a piece?
Well, it depends. I mean, I've always been a rock picker. I picked up diamonds off the side of the road for my mother when I was 2 feet tall. And my daughter did the same.
Okay.
So, if it's always been a rock hound, I've always been interested in, the word's escaping me now, but the geology behind it, I guess, and the history, and it's part of the earth, and those things are really important to me. So, I became involved, or maybe not involved, not maybe the right word, but more engrossed in the whole crystals and gemstone thing for a lot of years, many years before I started wrapping stuff on my own. But I have to go back to that 220 wiring again, because as I was stripping that wire and learning more about copper and its benefits and all of the magical things that go with it, so that sort of became the center. But I mean, people bring me things to wrap. I've wrapped bear teeth, bear claws,
Oh,
bullets. One, I had a customer from Fredericton who brought me the buttons off her dad's police uniform, and I made earrings and keychains and bracelets for all of her and her siblings as a memoriam to him.
oh, how
So,
lovely.
yeah, so there's that, it kind of it's tugs at my heart a little bit.
It's
Um,
sentimental. So you
yeah,
do take commissions then from people,
absolutely.
right?
Absolutely. The only thing I ask is for full creative process. I'll sit and we talk about whatever the piece is and what it means to them and try and get a sense of some of the symbolism that's important for them. And then it comes out in the piece. So
Okay. So it becomes sort of a talisman for them. And am I saying that correctly? Talisman?
talisman, yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
So and a memorial to, if especially if it's somebody they lost, or right, or has transitioned. So yeah, so it's a nice way to a keepsake, right? So
yes,
yeah,
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. And then with the crystals and gemstones, if you've got one that speaks to you and you want me to wrap it for you, I'm happy to do that too. But again, the process is the same. I kind of just sit down, let the stone speak, and do what comes naturally, I guess.
yeah. Okay. So you have a tagline in there, jewelry with a repurpose. Can you explain a little bit about what that means to you or to your customers?
Well, my daughter and I were trying to come up with a name for my little business, and Mother of Metal evolved because, well, she started doing the play on words Mother of Pearl. No, that's way too fancy. I'm not that fancy. So we come up with Mother of Metal, and you can play on the word metal or metal a little bit. So it's
Right.
it's strong and determined and all of that. But also with the tagline just came to me over coffee one morning because I'm making jewelry, but in every piece there's something repurposed or reused or upcycled. So it became jewelry with a repurpose instead of
Exactly.
just a plain old purpose.
Right. And so you also take pieces from people that they can, if they have like stuff that they don't no longer want, you take donations for stuff like that to help you with your jewelry.
Absolutely, because I also use reclaimed leather um, for my braids and stuff. So that's a cut up old jacket that I cut up into little strips and braids. So everything's all hand braided. I reuse as much stuff material as I can.
Okay.
That's just the way I was raised.
Okay. So what are the types of comments that you receive from people? Is there anything that comes to mind that, like you were telling about that lady with her husband, not her husband, sorry, but her dad's
Buttons.
beautiful buttons. Is there other things that like little comments that you've heard, and they must be very excited when they see the pieces that you've done for
Well, I hope so.
them?
Oh, I've done guitar strings. I made a wedding um, comb for the granddaughter's wedding out of the father's old guitar strings.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Like, and she walked down the aisle with it, and they send me pictures, and I get all teared up because
Yeah.
it's so special. Like her grandfather was able to walk down the aisle with her, and it was just, I mean, that customer and I worked together over months to get
Right.
this just right. So,
Wow. So
and it's such an honor for me to be able to do those kind of things. But people are really surprised when they find out that, I am a recycler. So, I've had gifts of wires and oh, copper pipe uh, and leather jackets. And, I often take those things in trade. So
Well, that's cool. I've got a few things that I'll talk to you about later that you might like.
perfect.
Okay, and now if people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way?
Well, Charlene, as you know, the best way is email.
Yes, okay. All
Uh,
right. So
email Bev at
you have right,
mothermetal.com.
you have a website, yes.
Yes,
So through your
mother
website, through Facebook maybe as well? Do you have
through
that?
Facebook. Yes.
Okay, all right.
Oh,
So those are the best ways.
yes.
And
And you
we're
can
going,
call me too, but I have a tendency to listen to my messages when I'm half awake and then forget that I've listened to them.
okay. So maybe the best way to contact Bev is by email on her website. And
Yes.
we're going to be showing some of her work at the end of this video so that you can see her beautiful work. But I encourage you to come and meet with her at the Irishtown Holistic Fair on September 29th. That's on a Sunday from 10 to 4. And she'll have some of her beautiful pieces there. And yeah, so you can, and if you have some heirlooms that you'd like for her to work with, well, get in touch with her. So it's great.
Perfect.
Thank you
Yes.
so much, Bev, for being. Is there anything else you'd like to add before
The
we?
only thing I'd like to say is that when you come to see me in person at a fair, I often bring all the stuff that's not on the website yet.
Okay,
So
great.
I'm partial to my local customers.
Very good, very good. So that's great. So we'll see some new pieces from Bev that's not on the
Absolutely.
website. And yeah, so I encourage everyone, bring your family. There's a lot of fun-filled stuff. There's presentations as well. So there's stuff for everybody there. So we have a great variety. You can check out our vendor directory to get more of who's going to be there at it's eastcoastholisticevents.ca. So please, and the admission is free. So you can check everybody out. So we're looking forward to seeing you there. And thank you so much, Bev, for being on the YouTube video with me today. Bye-bye.
Bye.